to dive into what is, hands down, the biggest headache in AI video creation. How do you make these amazing, long, professional videos where your characters don't change their face every 5 seconds? Well, stick around, because we're going to break down the exact blueprint to solve it for good. You know the feeling, right? If you've ever tried to tell a story with AI video, you have absolutely felt this pain. You get a few incredible clips, and then, bam! Your main character looks like a totally different person. It is so frustrating, and it makes any kind of real, believable storytelling feel completely impossible. But what if I told you there's a repeatable workflow, a complete blueprint that just solves this problem? For good. That's exactly what we're going to walk through today. A step-by-step guide to get you perfect character consistency, and yeah, it's completely free and fully automated. So let's first talk about what a lot of people are calling the AI video nightmare. The number one thing, the absolute biggest barrier that separates those kind of clunky amateur AI clips from professional-looking AI stories is inconsistent characters. And this right here, this lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got the default experience for most people. Faces are all over the place, the story feels totally broken, and trying to make a video longer than like 30 seconds is a total nightmare. But on the right, using the blueprint we're about to cover, the character is locked in, the story becomes immersive, and you can easily scale your ideas to any length you want. That's where we want to be. So, how do we get that perfect results on the right? It all comes down to the solution we're calling the consistency blueprint. This is the foundation, the step-by-step process you can follow to get those consistent, pro-level results every single time. The whole thing kicks off with 3 really crucial prep steps. First, you generate your story. You can use an AI writer like ChatGPT for this. Second, you ask that same AI to act like a professional animator and break your story down into visual, scene-by-scene prompts. And third, and this is the absolute game-changing step that most people miss, before you generate a single scene, you have to create what we'll call character anchors. So why 20 prompts? Well, it's really just simple math. Most of these AI video tools, they generate clips that are only about 5 or 6 seconds long. So if you want to build a compelling 2-minute story, you're going to need around 20 different scenes. Planning this out from the very beginning is the key to making a story that feels smooth and continuous. So those character anchors we mentioned, they're what we call reference images. And look, this isn't just any old picture, it's a high-quality, standalone image of your character, ideally on a clean white background. Think of it as the one source of truth for the AI, telling it exactly what your character needs to look like in every single frame that follows. Okay, so you've got your story, you've got your visual prompts, and you have your essential reference images. Now let's get into the magic, the automation that's going to generate all of our scenes with perfect consistency. This is where the real heavy lifting gets done for you. For this workflow, our toolkit is pretty simple. We start with Google Whisk, which is our text-to-image generator. But the real magic comes from a Chrome extension called AutoWhisk, which does all the automation. And listen, pay very close attention to this. For the reference image feature to work correctly, you absolutely must be using version 7.6.0 of that extension. All right, let's walk through the actual process inside AutoWhisk. First, you just copy and paste your whole list of 20+ visual prompts right into the extension. It'll separate them automatically. Next, you click the most important button here, Reference Images. You'll then upload those character anchors we created earlier. And here is the super critical part. You have to type in the character names exactly as they appear in your prompts. Then you just click Start and let the automation do its thing. And what's the result of that whole batch process? It's perfect. It's perfectly consistent character faces and styles. The AI uses your reference image as a visual guide for every single shot, making sure the character looks identical from the very first frame to the very last. The consistency nightmare is officially over. So now that we have a full set of consistent still images, it's time to bring them to life. We're going to take these static pictures and turn them into dynamic, cinematic video clips. Now, before we animate, let me give you a quick pro tip for getting a professional voiceover. A fantastic tool for this is Google AI Studio, using its Turn Text into Audio with Gemini feature. The key here is to give it style instructions. Don't just paste in the text, tell it how to perform. Say something like, read aloud in a warm and story tone for children. This one tiny step gives you incredible broadcast quality narration, and it's completely free. All right, let's move into animation with Grok. And before you do anything else, stop. There is one crucial setting you have to change. You've got to go to the settings menu, find behavior, and you must make sure that enable automatic video generation is turned off. This is so important because it gives you full manual control, which lets you pair each specific image with its own custom animation prompt. And with that control, you can really start to elevate your animation. This is where you get to play director. Specifying professional camera moves makes your video feel so much more intentional and cinematic. So instead of just saying animate, try prompts like a dolly zoom to slowly move in on a character's face, a truck to move sideways with them, or a pan to reveal a beautiful landscape. And here's a little efficiency hack that's going to save you a massive amount of time. Don't just sit there waiting for each 6-second click to render one by one. I mean, that takes forever. Instead, open 4 or 5 different tabs of Grok in your browser. You can start generating a different clip in each tab all at the same time. Trust me, this is a game changer, especially on longer projects. We're in the home stretch. We have our consistent clips, we have our professional voiceover, and now it's time for the final assembly. This is where we add all the polish and the professional touches that really bring the whole video together. In a video editor like CapCut, the process is actually pretty straightforward. First, bring in your AI voiceover and manually trim out those awkward silent gaps between sentences. This little tweak makes the pacing feel so much more natural. Next, just drag and drop your video clips to align with the narration. And finally, for that smooth and polished feel, apply a simple black fade transition between all of your clips. But hold on, there is one last sound design secret that I'm betting 99% of creators are just deleting by mistake. It's a hidden feature that can totally change the entire feel of your video. Here's the deal. Grok automatically generates its own native audio for every single video clip. Most people just mute it or delete it. Don't do that. Instead, extract that audio into its own track and lower the volume way down to around -25 decibels. It instantly transforms from this weird, distracting noise into a subtle, natural background ambience that makes your scenes feel so much more alive. So let's quickly recap the 5 keys to success. 1. Always start by creating your character reference images. 2. Use AutoWhisk to batch generate all your scenes for perfect consistency. 3. Disable auto generation in Grok so you have full manual control. 4. Use cinematic camera prompts to create really dynamic animation. And 5. Don't delete that native audio. Use it at -25 decibels for professional ambience. You know, by following this blueprint, that whole character consistency problem is, well, it's pretty much solved. So it leaves us with a really fascinating question. What is the next great challenge for AI storytelling? What's the next big frontier we need to cross to create truly compelling narratives? I really hope this detailed workflow helps you create some amazing things. If you enjoyed this explainer and you want more deep dives into the tools that are literally shaping the future of creativity, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching.